10 p.m. I was already in bed. But by the time you're going to watch this video, it might not even be 10 p.m. It might be early in the morning or whatever. I was already in bed getting ready to sleep. Then I decided to watch this viral YouTube video about Dania Jackson. Dania Jackson is the wife to Derek Jackson. If you are a YouTube fanatic, you probably have come across a video by Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson is a relationship expert. All right. Unfortunately, he has not been an expert in his own relationship. So the wife has come out in a YouTube vlog to tell it all. And there are a lot of similarities between Dania, that's the wife, and my story. She was raped, daddy issues, rejection as a child, single parent family, yada, yada, yada. Met an abuser, married an abuser. And I discovered that from watching the video that this is something I already know. That just reinforced what I already know, which is that if you do not work on your problem, you will repeat patterns. If you don't work on what the issue is, either you were raped as a child, or you were neglected by your parents, or you were never heard as a child in your home, you have issues, you didn't have a good communication relationship with your parents or with your guardians, or just growing up, you suffered any form of abuse. If you do not deal with it, you tend to attract that. You tend to repeat. Now, it's important that people get help. Find a therapy, talk to somebody. And I wonder how, honestly, if you don't deal with it, you have to lean on something in order to be sober, because it will drive you crazy. You either lean on drugs, alcohol, sex, food. You've heard of people who have food addictions. Check them. Check their backgrounds. There's something. They're suffering from something. Nobody just eats for free, for nothing. There's something called stress eating. You've heard of that? Yes, binge eating, stress eating. They're eating because they're dealing with stress. They're dealing with something. So if you don't deal with the issue, you will lean on something. And whatever it is you're leaning on will affect you. For some of us are leaning on God. That's why we have not run mad. Otherwise, coming face to face with your past, thinking about it, crossing your mind. People asking you about it. It's not very easy to handle that. You need to deal with it. And the best natural way to heal a wound is by opening it up. You have to expose it and pour salt on it. Then it will dry out naturally. I'm not saying you go on national television and talk about your issues like I do. You can find a therapist. Talk to somebody. Because what Dania Jackson is going through, I will put the link down on the comment section so that you can go and watch that video. I looked at that young lady and how people have bullied her for not looking like the fly celebrity wife that people expect her to look because she's married to a celebrity. And now I understand why all that doesn't matter to her. People that have gone through it don't care about most things. You don't have to look latest. People that have gone through life don't care about some of this vanity. I'm sure all the people that have ever bullied her are crying right now because her story is something else. It's important for you to find help, because if you don't find help, you will end up marrying a similar manipulator, a similar abuser. If you had issues with your dad or with your mom, they were drunkards, they were violent, they were physical abusers, they were verbal abusers. If that was your story, and you don't deal with it, you don't heal out of it, you'll marry that. That is what you're going to marry. There's power in patterns. And then you tend to attract, there's just a psyche around it. You tend to attract, you tend to find safety in what you already know, because that's what you already know, right? That's what you're already accustomed to. You suspect everything else, when you find someone who's soft spoken, not an abuser, you're like, I've never you suspect it. So what is your comfort zone rather is that abuser, in that setting of abuse. That structure is what you find comfort in, because that is what you're used to. So you understand why you have to heal, because Danae did not work on. You'll see the video. She admits it herself that she did not work on her past, and that's why she kept dealing and condoning and enduring through abuse after abuse after abuse. And she's an amazing woman. You look at her, smart head, beautiful, but she allowed abuse, and now she looks, and she allowed this person to drag her, and turn her into something. I mean, she gave an example that really got me watching that video from the trailer. She gave an example of having watched several sex videos of her husband and other women, multiple women. She found herself starting to transform into those women, because she watched how they looked, their hairstyles, their body types, their sexual performances, because she would land on videos. And now she started becoming that, started dressing like them, started doing her hair like them, started, performing sexually like them, in order to be the one that is chosen by the husband. It still didn't amount to anything. They're divorced now. She's still back to a single mother. Patterns. Raised by a single mother, back to a single mother. Patterns. If you do not work on your past. And the reason why I resonated with that part is because, in 2018, I was dating someone who was dating multiple people. And I found myself going to their pages, to their profiles, those women. We are smart. We are women. We are smart. You'll always land on those women. You'll always find them. No matter how hard they try to keep whatever it is as a secret, you'll always find out, and you'll always know those women. So I would go to their Instagram and then we'll check how they dress, how they look. I found myself starting to dress like those women, starting to be raunchy and ratchety like those women. I'm like, this is not me. No, I don't have to be like that. I'd rather leave it and find someone who accepts me as how I like to be. I don't have to perform. I don't have to look like there's someone out there that accepts or wants someone like me, who performs like me, who looks like me, who dresses like me, who has their hair like mine. There's someone for that. You don't have to transform into something else to be chosen. And those are some of the things that you'd rather learn from my speech right now than learn from experience, because it is painful. When I was going through that, man, I became a shell of myself. This is exactly verbatim of what Danae Jackson is talking about in her video, in her own story. She became a shell of herself. She became a puppet. She knew bodies of other women more than she knew her own body, because she spent so much time following them on Instagram, checking them out and everything. And so, you know what? I just came out here to tell you, if you have suffered any form, endured any form of abnormality in your growing up, or deficit or deficiency or inadequacy in your upbringing, in your childhood, in your background, please get help. There's no shame in going through therapy. Get a counselor. Speak to someone. It's important.